Hi everyone, it's Marianne and welcome to the second episode of my small backyard series. I recently moved to a new place that comes with a private backyard, so I'm really excited to give it a makeover for the spring and summer season. In the previous episode, I shared how I set up a couple of raised garden beds, so now we need something to plant on those garden beds. So today I'm sharing with you how am I germinating marigolds from seeds. And normally I just like to buy seedlings, but for marigolds I prefer to grow them from seeds because it's cheaper than buying the seedlings. For a packet of like 50-cent seeds, you can get about a dozen plants, maybe even more if you grow them from seed. Plus it's very easy to germinate them. Especially if you're a beginner gardener, I highly recommend growing marigolds from seeds. Not only they're easy to germinate, they're also very low maintenance plants. They bloom the entire summer season and they're also great pollinators, and they also prevent pests for your other plants. So especially if you're growing vegetables in your garden, they're great companion plants. And I know germinating something from seed can be very intimidating, especially if you're a beginner and you also just don't want to go through all that hassle because it can also be labor intensive. And sometimes even after all of your effort, your seeds don't germinate and they don't grow into seedlings that you can transplant into your garden. That's why for beginners, I highly recommend using a germination kit. And for this video, I'm using the Ahopegarden Intelligent Planter. Ahopegarden is sponsoring today's video, and I actually previously worked with them on Amazon last fall. So I have been using the Ahopegarden Intelligent Planter for quite a while now, and I love it. Last fall, I propagated basil cuttings and growth thyme from seeds in the Ahopegarden Intelligent Planter, which allowed me to have herbs in my kitchen all winter season long. And now I'm using it to germinate some marigold seeds, so I'm really excited to share that with you today. But before we get started, if you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Marianne. Welcome to My Oasis Life, where I take you along my houseplant and sustainable lifestyle journey and share with you some of my tips and tricks along the way. I also share some personal and travel vlogs here and there, so if that type of content interests you, make sure to subscribe to my channel before the end of this video and make sure to like and comment down below. I would love to hear from you. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So this Intelligent Planter by Ahopegarden is essentially a germination kit that provides you with everything you need to be able to grow seeds, aside from your seeds, of course, because that would be your own choice of what you want to grow. So it would take you from the seeds to seedlings to plants that you could keep growing in the Intelligent Planter, or you could use to plant in your garden. And I'm going to show you step by step on how to do that. But first, let me show you the different parts and function of this Ahopegarden Intelligent Planter. What's included in this Intelligent Planter is first the water tank, which is the body of the Intelligent Planter itself. And inside of the water tank is the water pump. And on top of it is the cover, which is the grow deck. And it comes with an adjustable light post that is connected to the bionic LED grow light. And the LED light panel has 4 different buttons. First is the power button, you could use to turn it on and off. And next is the water pump button. And then the last 2 buttons is to choose whether you want the vegetable mode or the flowering mode when it comes to the light settings. And everything you need for the germination is inside the water tank. Let's remove the grow deck. And the grow deck also comes with this cover for the water. So this is the slot where you put water into the water tank. And in the water tank, you'll find a packet of sponges. There's 8 inside. And then a packet of the baskets to put the sponges in also comes in 8. And the third and last bag contains the tweezers, the tags, the cover, the sticker, and the grow domes. And then of course the power adapter and 2 bottles of fertilizer, Plant Food A and Plant Food B. I'm going to show you later how to use them. So first thing that we need to do is to soak the sponges. This will take like a few minutes, just up until the sponge expands. And after that, we could put the baskets into the grow deck and insert the sponges in the basket. Here I have some marigold seeds. This typically germinate within a week, so we're going to put them in the sponges. And here, with the help of the tweezer, I'll be putting them in the sponges. I'm going to add water in the water tank. The water pump will work by default after you power on the planter, and it will automatically work for 30 minutes and stop for 30 minutes repeatedly to create a water circulation system as to provide sufficient oxygen for the roots. And to help with the humidity, I'm going to put in the domes on each one, and they perfectly fit the basket, and it would just help give them humidity and also help them germinate a bit faster. All right. If you'd like, you could label it, especially if you put different seeds in each of the sponges. So you can remember what seed you put in and when did you start seeding them. So for this, since they're all marigolds, I'm just gonna put one plant label with the date. The last thing to do is to adjust the height of the grow light. And that's pretty much it. And I'll check back with you after a week, then a couple of weeks, and then after a month and see how this marigold seeds are doing. Okay, so today is Monday, March 13th, and I started this on March 8th. So it's been about like just 5 days, but I could already see the true leaf coming out in most of the seeds. And this one, which is like right in the center, both has germinated and shown true leaf. This one up front. This one, the true leaf is still trying to unfurl, but we got two in there too. We got one here. I am really excited about all of them. And as you can see, the water level has barely moved and I haven't like refilled this. So it's very conservative when it comes to water use and I really like it about that. We'll check back again in the next 5 days or so and see how it's going. It's March 28th, so it's been 20 days since we started seeding these marigolds and you can see how much growth it already had. So let's check on the roots. So a lot of the roots are long and it is recommended that we trim them so that they don't get tangled up with the water pump. So see how long this one is? So we're just gonna trim like the longest one. And it's okay to trim roots. I know like people are scared of trimming roots, but it's totally fine. They'll be good. There we go. This one's not too bad. And you want to trim the roots too, because if you plan on putting them here for a while longer, you don't want the roots to all get tangled up. So it's good to trim every now and then. And this is my first time actually trimming the roots, so you don't really have to trim that often. And I'm gonna give this like 10 more days before I decide to plant them outside, and hopefully by then the weather is also nice that I am able to plant them outside. So now that we have like the first leaves, not just a true leaf for each of these seedlings, it's time to give them some plant food. So I'm using the plant food that came with it, plant food A and plant food B. So the prep for them is quite easy. They have water soluble plant food in each of them. You just open it up and fill it up with water up to the top line. Once you fill them up with water, just close it up. And after that, just shake it up until everything is dissolved and well mixed. And the formula for this is 5 milliliters each for every liter of water. And as you can see here, this one still has 2.5 liters of water in the tank, and I honestly haven't refilled this since I first placed it with water. That's how economical with water this is. And since this one has about like 2.5 liters, I'm putting about 10 millimeter of plant food A first. And you don't really need a separate measuring cup because this one already has a measuring guide on the cup itself, so it's very convenient. So I'm just gonna open the water tank and pour it in. And then I'm gonna do the same for plant food B. And just add it in, and don't worry, it will get mixed up. The water pump goes on every 30 minutes, so the plant nutrient or the plant food would definitely be evenly distributed. So today is Thursday, April 6th. We started seeding the marigolds on March 8th, so it's been about a month since I started this germination process, and look how much the marigold has grown. Some of them definitely grown faster than the others. Since the last update, I haven't really added extra plant food or extra water, so I think the difference in growth is really more about the quality of the seeds. But so far, most of them actually grew a lot. So let's go ahead and check the root system as well. So the smallest one that I can see is in this corner. Not much growth yet when it comes to root and leaves, but this was also the last one to germinate. And over here we have a really good one, and as you can see, the root system is really long, already tangled up with the rest, so I do have to trim that. And this one as well, very strong root system. And I think this is the largest one the one that grew in the middle. And look at that root system. That's crazy. And here, also a really good one. And ideally, I should have pruned the ones that had a couple of growths like this one, but I want to see if I could just like split them and then plant them as two separate plants. And also this one here also has a very strong root system as well as a lot of leaf growth already. And that's how easy it is to germinate marigold seeds using the Ahopegarden Intelligent Planter. It took less than a week for the seeds to germinate and less than a month for it to become seedling, and now it's ready for planting outside my raised garden beds and in the backyard. And honestly, the big chunk of work is like setting it up, which was also very quick and easy. And after that, I just left it alone. As you can see in the progress, the only maintenance that I did was add plant food like halfway through the month, but other than that, I didn't even refill the water tank because it still has water in it, and the light is set on timer and the water pump is also set on timer, so I don't really have to worry about it. So having the Ahope Intelligent Planter just encourages me to grow something from seeds, and I have a higher success rate of growing them from seed to seedlings into plants. So if you're interested in getting the Ahope Intelligent Planter, I'll have the link down in the description. Go check it out, but now let's go ahead and go planting in my backyard. So this is actually a few more days later. I was waiting for the weather to get warmer. So as you can see, the marigolds have grown more roots and more leaves. And I'm taking out the plastic basket. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I want to reuse the basket, so I took it out. And I lost some roots in here, which is okay. I should probably trim the roots anyways. And I'm just digging a hole in my raised garden bed, which I'm very excited to share with you in the next episode of my backyard series. But as you can see, it's very easy to transplant it from the Ahopegarden Intelligent Planter into my raised garden bed. I just, dug a hole and planted like that. And here's another one that I am planting in my raised garden bed. I planted about 3 so far, and I'm going to be planting the rest in the next episode of my backyard series, so watch out for that. And I can also share updates on the marigolds that I have already planted. So I'm really excited about this. I'm so glad to have marigolds already so early in the season. So if you also want to get a head start, germinating marigolds now is the way to go, especially if you use the Ahopegarden Intelligent Planter. You will have dozens of marigold to plant this summer season. And that's the progress made so far in my backyard. We have a couple of raised garden beds, planted some plants, but it still has a very long way to go, and I'm very excited to share the process with you in making over my backyard for the spring and summer season. Thanks again to Ahopegarden for sponsoring today's video, and thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, please do subscribe. I come up with videos every week, and if you haven't yet, check out these videos up here until my next one. But until then, I see you, I appreciate you, take care of yourself and each other, and have a plantiful day. Bye! Yesterday